Hit start recording.
You're an animal. We don't even have topics.
Yeah, we do. We have a few topics like this one right here, the fish versus Wall Street bets, where Michael Reeves did a video and let the fish go to either side of the tank, and whatever side of the tank it stayed on, that's the stock it invested in. And I believe it was in total up like $7,000 over Wall Street bets.
Man,
So a fish beat Wall Street bets. This is old news too. It's an older video, but it's still hilariously funny. Then seeing him sit there trying to convince like actual investors, I assume they were actual investors, that like this is the way, the Fish Corp is the way. And
honestly, real investors might believe that.
there was one guy, I think, that was actually like, okay. Everybody else caught on very quickly. They were just kind of sitting there awkwardly because they're all on a couch. It's a good video. I'd recommend giving it a watch if you just want to realize how dumb the world is.
That is our lives now.
You know? Speaking of how dumb the world is, I'm going to get into this one. Even though I didn't want to get into it too quick, but it's on the top of my head now. I need to talk about it. Apparently, at not specifically my workplace, but at workplace in general, people just go into the bathroom, stand on the toilet, open up the tile, and they just grow weed in the
That
ceiling
is
of the bathroom.
amazing.
And meth. They don't grow meth, but you know what I mean. They cook meth.
That's it. We're growing meth, Jesse.
My name is going now. That oh my god. The this was brought up because one of the coworkers brought up the fact that it's like one of the tiles in this bathroom's like moved to the side. Has anybody like looked up there? And I was like, no. One, because I don't care that much. Because I assumed it was like stolen property might be up there. And the guy was like, nah, they just fucking full weed farm up there, man. And I'm like, you mean we could have a side hustle? We're in here? I don't want to throw shade, but there may be a reason why the cleaning staff takes so long in the bathrooms.
Damn, bro, that bathroom really needed a big clean. You were in there for 6.5 hours.
And the door's open, and we can see the whole bathroom, and you're not standing out anywhere in the bathroom cleaning anything. Also, the soap dispenser is still out of soap, and we haven't had toilet paper for 3 months. Dude,
Oh,
that is
how?
that is the worst, by the way. When you're like getting ready to close the store, go to the bathroom, and you're like, oh fuck, there's no toilet paper in here. I'm not getting up. Start hoping and praying. I believe in most cases, like we're allowed to just. Okay, I shouldn't say we're allowed to. I have seen people just grab toilet paper and paper towels off of off of our supply wall and just tear it open so we can use it.
Hey, I mean, otherwise you're gonna have employees walking around with dirt butt, and that's no good.
Dirt, but
Dirt butt.
there's the soil for the weed plants, I guess.
No. Oh.
Yep, you're the one that took it there. You're the one that said
mad.
dirt.
Man.
It fascinates me how crazy people get about that kind of stuff to the point you would grow it in a bathroom of a supercenter.
I mean, money's money, and people who are desperate will do stupid shit, as always.
Yeah, but it's like I, I don't think like how I'm never looking as an employee. I'm never looking up there. I don't know. The cleaning staff doesn't look up there. They don't even look at the floor.
Right.
Why would they be looking at the ceiling? So I mean, if I guess it's like that's probably like I'm not going to suggest anybody does anything, but
I wouldn't suggest it at all. No.
yeah, it's like that's the way to do it. No, don't.
Prison, man. Good old prison.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. It baffles me because I feel like there's so much evidence you could leave behind that you're the one doing it. But it also depends on how much they care about like catching you, right? Like if they go through the process of fingerprinting and looking at times to see who goes in where, who's been in there the most often, which I assume they would probably do if there was weed growing in the top of a super center.
Right.
There'd probably be a few more departments than HR on that shit. Oh, that's a good segue. I don't have an HR department.
You don't have an HR department at all?
No. Well, the
How's
HR
that?
department technically is my boss's, but we do not have a functional like HR human being to talk to. Not that we could talk to them anyway because they're only in during first shift, or I guess like halfway through second shift or whatever. But they had went on paid maternity leave and then just quit.
Nice.
And it was the same time a store director quit, so they had to find a new one of both. As far as I know, we don't have a new HR person. So, any complaints, like a weed
You
farm growing in the ceiling of our bathroom,
just file
just
them in the
go to the
trash.
manager.
Fuck yourself.
Just go to the manager. But I mean, our manager, like my manager's pretty cool. I called him about my pay. He's the one that broke down how that gets fixed, where 2 hours gets put on one week and 6 on the next because it was technically a Saturday. Whatever.
What a confusing way to split the hours, but I guess it makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it just has to be for the week for like business purposes. Because I know when I worked last Christmas, we weren't allowed to. We didn't work Christmas Day, but we went in at 12:01 on the 26th of December. We had to make sure the clock ticked over before we clocked in. They were very, very adamant about us waiting. Understandably so, because if it looks bad on them, but they could also just go in and fix the numbers,
True.
which is what they've had to do for me because I don't have my fingerprint taken. So that'll be
If a job made me get fingerprinted and it wasn't like a government job, I would feel pretty weird about it. I'm not gonna lie.
it's to log in and punch in. You go to a register, type in your number. There's a little scanner. Put your fingerprint on the scanner. Logs you in. I mean, phones and everything do it. So I just wish I could take my fucking name badge and just put it in a card slot. I am here. But no, that thing's fucking old as dirt and apparently doesn't work anymore. I mean, I thought they worked, but we don't have a punch card, which is dumb because why do our ID badges have a thing to be scanned on them?
I mean, it's better than some. I've had a job where we had ID, like we had little, they were like a little dot that you hung on your keychain to get in through the front door.
Okay.
But it was so weak and beat up that you could literally like walk up and just like smack anything metal against it and it would just scan it and let you in. And I was like, what's the point of paying for this kind of security if it just doesn't work?
You just walk up and bonk and get in?
Well, yeah, like I would used to wear I wear rings and I could just walk up and bonk it with my ring and it would scan the ring, which isn't anywhere near my keys, or even if I had my keys put away, it didn't matter. It would let me in. Like,
That is absurdly dumb.
yeah, safety.
We had one of our alarms go off the other day. Like somebody was making a break through the doorway with merchandise, but there was nobody there.
Ghosts.
There was like I was standing close enough that it almost broke my eardrums, but far enough away that I know I wasn't the thing that set it off. But
Right.
also close enough to know that nobody went through those doors. Because that instant alarm, you'd look up, I would see the doors either closing, because they're automatic doors,
Yeah.
or I would see the person running, or hear it, or something, and it just went off. And everybody's like, the customer, fucking 75 customers made the same goddamn, it wasn't me, don't look
Yeah.
at me, it
I'm not
wasn't
stealing.
me. I'm like, I don't, ma'am, you're standing beside me. I know it is not you. I did not make any suggestion. I didn't even look in your direction.
Just
I
shoots them a menacing
understand.
glare.
I understand it was not you. There's like 5 other employees around us. Not a single one of them made a gesture towards you or said anything. You are fine.
I know the reader, like the security thing at the Walmart in my town, goes off all the time when no one's around. It's the weirdest thing ever.
The one on the other end makes like little beeps. But this one was just like screeching. Like you
Ugh.
you would have thought somebody walked out with like $1,000 item.
It's set
Like
up to
a
know how much the
TV.
item is worth.
Yeah. It's like a TV. It's like, ah, that man stole a pack of Mentos, let him go. It's like TV. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, that thing was fucking loud. And our manager came over, turned it off. And they're like, all right, guess they got away. And I'm like, me and another coworker are like, we are telling you, there was nobody that went through that door. Because we were looking that direction. We would have seen it. Now, maybe, I'm all for like human error. Like maybe something did get through and we just weren't paying that much attention. But fairly certain, like I would be willing to put a week and a half worth of pay on it that it just went off on its own. Which is kind of concerning. Because I would hate for it to, like, I know I'm super anxious. Even when I pay for something, like, please don't go off. Please don't go off.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling when it does.
Not
And then
because
you have to
I'll feel
stand there
like,
awkwardly.
yeah, it's like I wouldn't feel guilty, but it's like, I know this guy has to come do his job and look at my receipt and look at what I've got. And, or if, like, I know in most cases it's happened before. It's happened to me a few times where they're just like, I saw you buy everything, just go. You're fine. You ever have somebody apologize for something they didn't do?
Yeah, constantly.
Like
Back in the
something
day.
something falls off a shelf like 2 feet away from either you or the customer, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I'm like, "What?"
It must have been the wind off my body that knocked
Yeah,
that down. It's like, no,
sad.
stupid.
Damn that
Relax.
that shelf got gravity real quick. Um,
Yeah.
throwback,
God.
throwback. The it confuses me that customers can be so coin flip. They apologize for everything, or you get the one person. Didn't write this one down. This is off. This is a natural segue.
Off the
Um,
top.
off the cuff, if you would. Uh,
What'd you
running
call
an
me?
aisle, and the this lady is like shopping. Like some people have a list. They go where they need to go. They get out. Other people kind of peruse. They stand around. I stand around sometimes. I get it. This person, this human being that has a beating heart in their body, stands between my pallet and the other shelf with a cart, so I have no room to walk around them, and pulls out the fucking weekly ad paper and starts reading it in the middle of my job. And now I'm standing there awkwardly because I don't want to be rude and say, hey, I know you can't read anyway. Just come on. You don't have to put on the act.
We don't need to pretend. Come on.
That's like, you can do that at like the beginning of the aisle. It's like, you were looking for something. You could have asked me about something because I always say, hey, do I need, like, is my pallet in the way? Do I need to move this cart? No, no, you're fine. Just start standing, looking through every page. They're there for maybe 20 minutes, which at the beginning of the shift is the only time they're in the store for the first 2 hours. That is 1/6 of the shift that I cannot really do my job. Part of that shift that I can't do anything because they're just standing there. And I don't want to try to, like, I'm not gonna walk out of my aisle, go to another aisle, walk down that aisle, walk back into my aisle, and do a little U-turn just to get this a $1 bottle of Febreze on the shelf. It can wait. It's fine.
I mean, you could like full send the gamer move and just smash him with the pallet jack. just run into him at Mach 12 and see what happens.
No. Oh, no, you know what? This is another good segue.
Oh no, you said segue twice. It's
Go,
over. We
going
died.
going into another customer story, running someone over with a pallet jack. I didn't do it, but I was scared I was going to, because there were these kids, maybe maybe 14, 15, like not very old, but
Hmm.
not like I don't know, dude. They could have been anywhere. I like 12 to 16, like in that height range, and
Yeah.
their attitude. At one point, they were laying in the aisle with their foot on one side, with their feet on one side, and their head resting on the other side. So there's no way I get the pallet through there without running them over, like as far in the way as possible. And while I'm moving this pallet, you know how tall I am. I'm about 6 foot. This pallet of dog food and kitty food is 7, 8 inches taller than I am. It is a couple 100 pounds of just momentum. And
And you're
I
like, I guess today's the day I kill someone.
and I'm like, there's two worlds that this I can pull it behind me and like go with myself first. So if I hit them, it's me hitting them and not the pallet. But I don't like I was explaining this to the person who's helping me. I don't have the ass in me to stop this thing if they get too close. So I have to like I'm going very slow, going very careful. I am like honed in more so on where they are than I am getting the job done, because they are very clearly just being reckless. And it's just kids being kids. I get it. But there's a couple there that's with them. I assume they're with them. The kids were walking around like by themselves like 15 minutes before I saw them running through my section. And then they're just with this group of parents. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're together now. I guess they're merging into one. Like a snowball where they gather each other as they go. The they're like running into the sides. They're not knocking anything over, but they're very clearly like they do not care if they knock anything over. And that is just something that is very scary when you're moving something, or you have to move something that is that big, because it's either I'm pulling it behind me, I hit them, and then I can't stop to pick them up. I have to snap around and try to stop the pallet from going any farther forward, or I push it slowly and I can't see over it because it's taller than I am, or around it because it's too wide. It's like, what, what, what happened? Where,
Just get taller.
where? We're doing this today, huh? This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, this is what we're doing. Is
This
you
is
need
what
to
we're
be
gonna do.
taller.
Hold on a second.
I mean, if a pallet can best you that level, then you have an issue.
You would not have been able to see these kids over it. You wouldn't have. I want to say they were 4'6" max height.
That's amazing.
They were very tiny and very fragile. And I was
Tiny babies, just run them over.
I was very very concerned about anything or anyone getting hurt, because I was also kind of concerned about them running into me, because I was tall enough and large enough that I know if they run into me or the pallet, they lose. Basically, is the world of the reality they live in. Is they're not knocking me over. They're not knocking the pallet over. They're not stopping my momentum. They're not stopping the pallet's momentum. They are bouncing off of me. They are bouncing off the pallet. And it is up to God's mercy on how much gravity is affecting this local area. The earth
Oh,
the earth to sun trajectory has to be perfectly right.
I'm just imagining the Super Smash Bros. You know, it smashes them and then game. Like,
Okay. That's about like Mario headbutt just straight into the ground.
yep, gone.
They just there's like a part of me that's sympathetic towards it, because there's moments. Okay, this is gonna get like haha funny, like spiritual talk or whatever. There's moments in your life where you just have realizations and you have these experiences that change your outlook on most things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to use too gruesome examples, but like uh, breaking a bone, or like going blind for a few seconds. Like they make you realize that, oh, I'm not immortal. Like,
Yeah.
things can change in an instant, and you kind of have to have that realization to not be a victim of natural selection. And you can only hope that it's like, I hope if I break a bone, it's my arm and not my chest, and then my chest stabs into my heart. Like, you hope that there's some mercy there. Sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's not enough. Like, I'm not gonna say these kids, I'm not gonna make the assumption they never had anything bad happen in their life, but you can tell that it's like, I'm very aware when I'm in the back room and the forklift's being driven, because I know that things can happen when you're moving at those speeds.
Sure, sure. And it's definitely not that people constantly nearly get run over by forklifts at that place.
I don't think there has been many, but the people who drive it are pretty, like, they always, whenever they're going around the corner, they honk like well before they're there. They got the lights on. They're like going around pretty slow. It's been threatened a few times. One of my old managers said he would run me and that, and I quote, that damn coffee cart over too if you don't move. But that manager also told me to kill myself. So, so you know,
You just got to know your crowd, man. Know your crowd.
you gotta know your crowd.
Yeah, there was a at the prison. There was this huge like it was this huge back door into the prison for like emergency services to get in for ambulances and stuff.
mm,
And I remember one day I was walking back there and I had responded to a call to go help somebody, and I was heading back to my place at the infirmary at the time. And I see the doors open and I think nothing of it, and I push through and start going towards the infirmary, and this other guy who was working with me at the time was just kind of blindly milling towards my direction, and this ambulance just comes screaming past him and he stops right before it hits him.
oh
And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't need to ride in that." And then he just kind of goes walking about like nothing even happened. And I'm like, this is a problem. Like, we're too exhausted at this point. We're overworked.
yeah.
Like, you
When you
can't
have
have a life
something,
threatening moment and then not react. Like,
there are moments where it's like so life threatening that you're like, you know what, it's best I just move past this. Like when I cut up my wrist a little bit, like that shook me up. I'm not gonna lie, mainly because it was told to me that it's like, yeah, if you would have cut that, we don't know if you would have been able to like make it to the ER in time. It's like that kind of shit can do a little bit to you, but if you're if you're gonna get hit by an ambulance like it's a fucking Cartoon Network show, you're probably just laughing that one off. Like that's a,
I mean, you
for
have
lack of a
to
better
because
term,
it's
that's a
like
podcast
it's the
story.
it's the safest way of getting hit by a car. You know what I mean? Like at
They're
worst,
the
they
ones that can
smash
fix
you
it.
and then put you inside the ambulance to take you to the
Same
hospital.
day shipping.
Like literally boxed up and sent. Like
I like the idea that it doesn't hit them; it just consumes them. It's like, it is your time. Wraps around them. Oh my goodness, I could not imagine being that out of it. You almost get fucking mollywopped by an
I mean, there
ambulance.
were a few moments like that though. Because I had just had my daughter at the time, so I'm like, I'm stupid, sleep deprived.
Mm.
I'm working in a max security prison during lockdown, and so like my days blended into weeks. And I remember there was one day that we had a group of dudes come in, and they were doing like big mass searches of the cell houses. And the funniest part to me was like at one point during it, I was in my cell house and I caught some guy trying to throw something away. And I was like, okay, hand it over, no big deal, whatever. This dude just turns and presents to me a sword. And I'm just like, you could have made anything, right? Like, this is a prison and you wanted a weapon. I at least understand the sentiment, even though I don't agree with it. And then you decided a sword was the choice, like the biggest possible knife you could ever create in a prison. And he was just
Gotta.
like, well, yeah, like I wanted to be safe. And I'm like, are you a ninja? Like, I feel like a shank is a much more efficient thing than a whole ass sword.
Do you know how to use that?
Like,
Where's your license?
like, oh man, it was so bad. I just and those were just that like that was Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
That
like, all
place
right.
was just insane. Uh
What
good
what do you
good time.
mean he has a sword? Just imagine
Like,
trying to. That's like
yeah.
try to describe to a boss that your coworkers hit you with a fucking cart corral. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you mean they hit you with the cart corral? I was talking to some of the managers and they're like, yeah, we've never heard that happen before. And one of them was, I thought he was just gonna tell me you should have moved, like you should have seen it coming. It's pretty big. He was just like, this sounds fake. I don't believe you. I'm like, it's a good thing I didn't get injured then, because I know we'd have to look through the security footage, and I do not know if the cameras out there are wired up.
Well, and there'd be a mass of fucking drug testing. Like,
Oh yeah, that was
it'd be
also
like,
told
are
to
you
us.
all tripping dick?
Yeah,
Like, what do you mean you got hit with a cart corral?
yeah. I was half expecting them to be like, you mean like a line of carts? I'm like, no, the thing that the line of carts goes into is what they hit me with. Oh, okay. Can you just
Speaking,
pee in this cup for me?
right, like,
Thanks.
speaking of drug tests, I guess I'll go ahead and hit the point that I know you're excited
Oh
for.
yes,
So,
give it to me.
I was having a talk with my mom and my little brother, who isn't little anymore. He's nearly a grown man. And we were talking about how easy it is, or how easy some people make it to basically skip the drug test, right? Like they will bring in fake pee and they just, they pee in the cup and then it's over. And even if they're absolutely cooked on drugs, they get away with it because of that.
Hmm.
And I had to pose the question because most of the stories I've heard about it are from women because women can kind of hide the action of peeing a little better than a guy can. I had to think of like how does a dude get away with using fake pee, right? And then I
Well, his
realized like there's
legs.
only one good way in my mind because I'm a simpleton and didn't even think of just hiding the bottle on your person. And it was
Yeah.
like, so you're telling me guys go into these drug tests before their big job, before they get this big break, right? And they just fill their butt with this fake pee.
Oh
And
no!
they just like walk in, just hey, I got a butt full of pee in a job interview. Like, and it stuck with me forever. Like I'm never gonna get that vision out of my fucking head.
This is
Like,
so much better than
ugh.
see, cause my normal human brain was like, yeah, they just like you can hide the bottle and then you can get like the things that you can put on the faucet to fill up water balloons. You just get one of those so it looks like the action of peeing. And you're like,
Nope.
nah, they hide it in those ass cheeks, bro.
It's just a butt full of pee, man. I don't
But
know. Like I didn't even think
how do
about
they?
it. I didn't use any logic. I just like little kid brained it
I
and was
know
like,
you did.
how do you hide a bunch of fluid on your person? It's like, you must just butt
You
chug it.
could get
Like,
like you could also like have a plastic bag like the catheter stuff does.
I mean,
You
yeah,
just,
but
there's
it's
so many.
funnier if you just fill your ass with fake pee.
I also I also like the idea of them also having it in their mouth. It's like, are you ready to take the piss test? Mm-hmm. It's like just hear like dribbling. It's like
That old Austin Powers bit where it's just way too much pee.
it's like you're just standing there.
Oh.
Oh, that is so not where I thought that was gonna go.
Oh, of course not.
But it's not. I don't know if the way I thought it was gonna go was better. I thought it was like somebody was gonna be like, "Yeah, I just let this guy piss in my butt, and I got a job interview out of it." So, it's a one for
Uh,
one trade. Oh no. Oh, oh. I'm gonna kind of bring us back in for a second because I got
I'm
I got
taking us
some.
back out afterwards, so get ready.
Oh no, I'm pulling this one up. Finn calling Kate.
Yeah.
When I first got Finn, I had him in like a little carrier cage because I didn't want him to run around because he was so small he could get caught in things. He had already gotten his claw stuck on my desk, like into the desk, and couldn't get it out. to the point I had to put on my work glove to like help him take it off because he was like trying to bite my hand because he thought I was hurting him because he was a little tiny baby.
Yeah.
But I talked to our friend Kate, a swell person. On my phone, I'm texting and I see a little paw because I had him on the tray next to my desk, and I see a little paw reach out and just boop, and it's just prrrp, prrrp, calling Kate, and then Kate answers and she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Okay, my cat hit the call button. Um, I know this doesn't sound real, but here you go," and you see her, the little noises coming out of him. And she was like, "Oh my god, Finn, I love you." I'm like, "I guess he loves you too because he called you." There's no
That's
other way to put
impressive.
this.
Yeah, like that's so impressive. I don't have any pets talented enough to do that at all.
He just like
Like,
he just called and he was like, "Eh." I was like, "Okay, buddy. I guess you got it." He was
one,
he was fascinated with my phone when he was a little baby. Now he couldn't give a shit, but
well, moody teenagers and all that.
don't even get me started. I don't want to think about my baby boy growing up. He's so cute.
Gonna be an old man one day.
He's gonna be grouchy, and I'm gonna be yelling at my video games, and he's gonna be yelling at me like he does now. So he's actually just gonna start walking up and biting my leg. Shut up! I mean, too damn loud. Okay, that's the Kate interactive part at
Sure.
at 31 minutes. Thank you, Kate, for watching. I'll see you
Yeah,
next
we'll see you
episode.
later.
All right, Connor, fucking send us, bud.
All right, so I'm gonna hit the point called warning shot. Um, I'm sorry for anyone who is prudish or feels a certain type of way about a bunch of things. You're gonna love it.
I can't wait to cut this out.
Yeah, probably. Basically, this was shortly after the butt full of pee incident.
Incident.
I
Don't
was
call it an
sitting
incident.
there.
Don't call it an incident. Please don't call it an
I was
incident.
sitting there post dinner having a cigarette.
Post piss butt.
And yeah, post piss butt with a cigarette in my hand, as anyone would.
Living the dream.
And I had just eaten, and my stomach starts to bubble, and I can't help but think of you and your half gallon of milk, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I hope I get a warning shot off, right? Like I hope a little bit of gas passes and I'm okay, and
Yeah, a
I can
little bit.
spend the rest of this cigarette time and be all right. And I feel it coming. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. So I go to push a little
Hold on.
bit.
No. I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Did you post up? Did you stance a little bit?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
I let it come like a normal fart. I was really brave about it.
You
And the warning
soldier.
shot comes, but the warning shot was it was kind of like an LA cop warning shot. It hit. And I shit my pants, right? So I like not a lot, but enough to be stunning, right? And it hit
Enough
me
to
like a
warrant
fucking freight
I
train.
need to go deal with this.
Yeah, like immediately. And so I'm putting out this cigarette, and my mom's sitting beside me, just kind of watching me, and she's like, "What just happened?" And I just looked at her, and I was like, I can't really explain, but you know exactly what I'm trying to say.
No, you just gotta look at it. It's just I shit my pants.
I just fucking shit myself.
Dude.
Like it was so fucking annoying. I was so pissed.
I mean,
like,
you were so shit, not pissed. Is other one.
That's true. I mean, I could do both right now. Let me turn on my camera. We'll post.
That's rough. That is my worst fear. I have like in
shit
myself, not so much in public, at work.
Oh yeah, that would be awful.
Because then it's like I can't if I'm at home, like if it happens at home, if I've like eaten something wrong or something like that happens, like I can put my blanket around myself and wiggle my way into the bathroom and deal with it.
Don't say wiggle. Don't say wiggle.
A waddle like a fucking penguin, my brother.
Yep, no cheek movement, contained pooping.
Stiff as a board. Waddle across the hallway, the 2 or 3 feet it is to the bathroom, deal with it. But if it's at work, you have the risk of someone else being in that bathroom, that bathroom being full, or they're cleaning it, and then you have to waddle because none of these bathrooms are close.
Right.
They're at like the trifecta. Like it's one in the middle, one in the bottom right, one in the bottom left. Like they're as far away as humanly possible
And
without
fill up the
having an
whole
OSHA
store with shit
violation.
in your pants.
And so not only do you got to do it with like fabric rubbing, it is a bad time. I just don't want to deal with it. So every time I even feel like if I start to sneeze, I'm walking to the bathroom. I am already on my way over. I know what's about to happen. Because if it does happen, one, you have to deal with it. Two, now I have to go through the conversation of I'm an adult and I didn't bring a change of clothes.
Right. Because who the
So,
fuck would?
because if you bring a pair, then you're actively prepared for it, and that's even weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that means it's happened before. So, you have to have that conversation, which means usually somebody has to buy you a pair of underwear and a pair of work pants. Because unless they take your card, which then you have to hand over your PIN number,
Mm-hmm.
or they buy it for you, and then you just compensate them later. But then it's still that
Now
coworker.
you owe them money
That
because your shit
coworker, not
just
not only do you owe them money, that coworker can now go to other people and say, "Yeah, my coworker shit himself at work, and I buy him
Ugh.
a nice fresh pair of undies,"
Yeah,
and then
that's
they
the
get to tell it
worst.
on a podcast.
Right.
So,
And on that point, I've got a good one.
oh, you got to go.
Um, so back at the prison, there was a frankly stunning amount of people who are raging alcoholics, right? Just because the job is very hard and stressful and you don't have time for your regular life most of the time. And I don't think I'll ever forget the pain I saw when one of my good friends who I'd worked at the prison with for a while, we were in the middle of an altercation with one of the guys there at the prison, and I watched him as he goes to get this guy on the ground and cuff him. I watched the look of terror as he holds a man down and shits himself at the same time.
Oh,
And he just
oh,
looks at me and goes, "Can you finish this?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir. Go ahead and handle your business." And now I'm laughing while holding this guy down while my coworker does the poop waddle away. It was
oh,
so fucking sad for him.
oh no.
He had to go talk to the captain about it because the guy like did one of the like there's the inmate inquiry things where they basically can report mistreatment and stuff like that. And like the guy wrote up that like he could feel the shit during the
That
altercation. And I was like, imagine having to go to your boss's boss, like the highest person at your job, and be like, "Yeah, dude, sorry, I did shit a little."
I I
Oh,
shit on that prisoner. Yeah, my bad, homie.
my
Um,
bad. We can just
they're
mark that up
they're
as an L.
Geneva suggestions, right? They're not they're not rules. They're just
I
broad
mean, would you
ideas.
can I wouldn't consider that a violation of human rights. That's an accident. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
truthfully.
but it's like
And
that's
unless you purposefully climbed on top of them and started laying a log, like,
that gets into a good one to get us out of this grotesque without getting too far out of the grotesque. I didn't see it myself. I only heard this secondhand, but apparently at our store, the there was, I don't know if it was cookies or like a cake or whatever, but they a few of the managers and employees had walked up and they were just like, yeah, this box of whatever it was is just there. It's just coated blood. There's just blood all over this like table and the like, not enough to be like there wasn't a trail where somebody would like went to the bathroom to like bleed out or anything, but it was like somebody just sneezed blood and was like, oh shit, gotta go.
geez. Oh
They got
no.
they got like the med kit, and I don't want to say med kit. What's it called? There's like an actual
First
term,
aid.
not first aid, but like it's like a test, like a testing kit, because they have to like it's got gloves in it because you probably shouldn't touch blood on the. Hold on. I got a live update. It was a box of cookies. It is confirmed it is a box of cookies. They at least I believe it was on the box and not. I hope not on the cookies, but that they almost had to call like people to come check it, but I believe they got it cleaned up without any issues.
Okay.
So that should hopefully be fine, and nobody's in any real danger. I know we had a scare before where the we've got the little like fountain drink things, but they're like slushies.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. It's like strawberry flavored or whatever. There was just syrup all over the floor, and it looked like somebody just got cut and just like just.
Oh.
But because it was right in front of the machine, everybody's like, it's probably the food coloring.
I mean, you say probably, but imagine if someone had went to taste it and it wasn't that.
That's one. Why would you taste it off the floor in any
Dude,
situation, let
I
alone
have worked with some really
still in
stupid
a
people.
pandemic?
I have worked with some really, really dumb people.
Oh, I work with some really dumb people too. Don't you worry about it.
We're not adding anyone right now, we promise.
We're not. Definitely not anybody who would be listening to this. They're not in here listening to this conversation. They're not. They're Oh, Connor, you want to hear something heartwarming? I'm gonna get sidetracked because I'm talking about the coworkers now. The one that I ride with.
Mm-hmm.
He picked me up listening to the podcast.
Oh yeah,
it was very funny,
dude.
because I was walking to the car and I heard your voice and my voice.
Oh man,
and I was like,
I'm
"Oh,
so
this
sorry.
is funny." and I just got out of the car and I looked at him and I went, "I knew you were gonna fucking do this too." And he turned it off, and we went to work. But that was like a little wholesome moment. It felt good. I hope this is the part. I know you're gonna do it again, you motherfucker. So if you're listening to this part, drive fast.
Drive faster right now.
Uh,
Well, I have one more crude topic, but I almost want to save it.
we're at 42, so we're almost at the hour mark. I don't think I'm gonna have to do any editing other than just putting video
Yeah.
to it. I don't really mind doing that. Let me see. Is there anything I got here? Oh, I guess I could go over how I got swindled into counting. So, I usually work Friday night, Saturday night. I have Sunday off, and then I work Monday night. Because Monday, Wednesday, Friday are the big trucks for the shift, and Saturday I'm basically there in case there's any carryover from Friday's truck. Saturday night, Sunday morning, the truck comes in for Sunday night because there's a I work in one section, there's another section that gets a truck, and I was talking to the boss. He opened up the trailer, looked in. He's like, it's a pretty small truck. And he looks over at me. He goes, are you in tonight? And I'm like, no, I'm back. Like, not tonight, but next night. He just kind of sits there for a second. He goes, can you come in tonight? I'm like, it looks like a small truck. I mean, I guess if you like really need it, like I could come in. I could be convinced to. And he sits there and he's like, well, we're gonna start doing inventory, and you're gonna have to take like the scanners, because we use the scanners to, if something doesn't have a product code on it, we can scan it, and the phone tells us where it goes on the shelf if the product doesn't have the label. It's supposed to have a label, sometimes always doesn't. Just helps us. He's talking about that. He's like, yeah, you scan it, you put in how many of those product are on there, go to the next thing, scan it, etc. It's just a mundane task to do, but needs to be done. I was like, He just kind of looks at me. It's like, well, you're one of the few people I would trust to be able to handle doing it, like working with everything. I'm like, all right, if it's just counting, I can come in. And I just kind of sat there, and I'm like, he absolutely commented about me being someone he could trust because he knew it would fucking work.
Yeah, that's like the classic boss,
And
trick.
to be fair,
I've done it myself.
To be fair, there weren't a lot of people counting.
Yeah.
The coworker Out of the ones that you know, two of us were counting.
That's it. Just two.
Just the two of us. And the other one may or may not be listening in right now. It was us, and then I even called it because I was working in the aisle next to our group of friends because they were all in an aisle organizing everything. And they were like, "Yeah, we don't know we haven't been shown how to count anything, so we don't know who's gonna count our stuff." And I was like, "Well, I just finished up mine, so they'll probably send me over to count yours." And they're like, you might not have enough time. Sure enough, break ends, go over, and they ask, hey, manager, like our stuff's ready to be counted. And he goes, you know what? I'm gonna have Jacob come over here and count your guys' stuff. And you know how Vince McMahon walks? I came around that corner, power walking, arms up in the air, full fucking chest up, chin up, and he looked at me and he was like, "You did call it." I was like, "You're damn right I did." But it wasn't a lie that he trusted me enough to do it. And at one point I did make a mistake and I caught it, thankfully, because I almost didn't count 340 packets of taco seasoning. Um,
I don't like how you put that, but go ahead.
what, 340 packets of?
Yeah, it's ASMR 340 packets of taco seasoning. That's just a strange one. I'm not gonna lie.
I was whispering it. I got real close to the mic because I don't want to be down. I caught it, and you have to count it. You have to label the thing in the machine, print it off, and tape it to whatever you're counting. I noticed I made this mistake. Walked back and I talked to one of the managers. I was like, "Hey, I just made this mistake. All I got to do just scan it, add it in, and reprint these papers?" And the manager looks at me and she goes, "Yeah, because I just did the same thing. I'll be honest with you. Just reprint it and tag it on. It's fine." I was like, "Thank Christ." I was
inventory, man.
I was pretty proud of myself doing the inventory because I had someone who was helping me in the aisle run the stuff off of a pallet. But you've got the pallets and the M carts. Brought the pallet out. The main manager, big boss man, was like, "You know what? I don't think you're gonna get all of it up. So if you bring the pallet back, it's fine. Just get as much of it on the M cart as you can." When I tell you we got that pallet on that M cart, we had room to spare. And I walked around the corner to tell him, and I'm like sweating because this is boxes of salsa and spaghetti sauce.
Right.
Very heavy boxes that you are picking up, walking, looking to see if they go up, setting them in a pile to be scanned, and then putting them on the cart. Sweating, and I'm like, "Hey, we got all of it on that cart." And he just kind of looks at me and he blinks and he's like, "All of it?" I'm like, "Yeah." "And all of it's counted?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hell yeah." And let me tell you, the surge of pride that went through me when I heard him telling another manager later, because I was counting something else around the corner. He went by on the forklift and he was like, "Hey, did you hear they got that whole pallet on there?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, these managers don't talk to each other. They don't communicate. You know you're doing good when they start talking to each other.
Right.
It's like,
that's always a great feeling. Like we talked about last time. I feel like affirmation, especially like, the little shit that you're not even really supposed to hear, just feels amazing in a job, especially if it's a job you enjoy.
I I would like to think I enjoy my job. There's parts of it that are frustrating, but I would say 95 to 90% of the employees can go, "Hey, yesterday was a fuck up. Let's get it done. Next day, we're in. Everybody's fine. Everybody's communicating, working in, just going." There's not really any, what's the term? I guess backroom politics.
Right.
There's not really like any of that.
That's always the worst in a job. I really dislike the favoritism and stuff like that comes with certain
there's
jobs.
there's blatant favoritism. I will say that much because there are people that get away with doing significantly less work than what me and my friends do. But if we even do less than what we're doing now, we'll get a talk where it's like, hey, what's going on here, and it may be because we're all like the majority of us are under the age of like 27, but
Yeah,
and
seniority rules and all that.
everybody else is like uh 55 up or something around there. Not to offend anybody, but they're like they're very content if they got fired or not. They don't care.
Right.
There is they're all great people for the most part, but there are days where I'm like, you could have worked a little bit more, so I didn't have to do this. Because there's one guy, I'm not gonna say his name for obvious reasons. There's one dude, I love him to death. He is a great coworker, but there would be days when I was working with him when I first started that he'd be like, "You need to like slow down. They're gonna send us somewhere else." And I'm like, "Yeah, if I slow down, they're gonna send me home."
Right.
Like it's curtains for me. I don't get that luxury to be like, I have a retirement plan and this is just a part-time job. It's like I don't. I want to build up the money. Like I need to. That's like Jesus.
I also feel like sometimes people, especially younger people, make the mistake of working way the fuck too hard in their
Yes.
first few weeks at a place. And
Yes.
then the standard of work is held so high that the job becomes exhausting for them. And it's like,
Yes.
if you're smart, and I'm not saying be lazy, obviously, but as long as you're smart and you get your job done to the degree that is expected, going above and beyond can be nice occasionally, but you don't want to do it at the beginning because then they expect it.
I
Yeah, it's
I go in every single day because I know there's gonna be bad days. I'm gonna have bad days. My manager's gonna have bad days. Different. I almost said different shifts, but they never have good days. So there's just days where it's like I know there's not gonna be as much production. I'm not gonna be able to do as much as I did yesterday. That's perfectly fine. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna do what I can do. That is it.
right.
And that has been I ask them constantly. I'm like, hey, am I doing all right? And they tell me, hey, if you were doing bad, like you would know for sure if you're doing bad. Now this came
Basically, we'd
that
fucking
answer
tell you.
that answer came right after another coworker asked, hey, am I doing bad in this aisle? And while I got the answer of you would know, they got the answer of I'll be helping you tomorrow.
Oh man, that's
And
rough, buddy.
that don't crash us on the way to work, by the way. Uh,
Mm.
the no, he's we give him a lot of shit, but he's also like trying to learn a new section, and he's also got the stress of they're sending him to a different store for a few weeks to help them get started because the city has decided, not the city I'm in right now, but the city that's close to us has decided, hey, the first, second, and third store are doing fantastic. Let's get a fourth in the same city.
It's just too
Um,
much, man.
it
It's a
is,
waste of resources.
especially give they have more stores in that city than we have stores in states. We are so Midwestern that we're in like 3 states, but they have
Man.
4 stores in one city. Why?
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Go farther. Go to California or something.
Nah, California's got enough. There's all this empty space out here. It's just farmland. We don't definitely not have a food shortage incoming.
Farmland. Better put a small Midwestern grocery store right here.
We need it.
That's the
We'll
most,
starve.
yeah, Midwestern thing you could possibly. Oh, better put a store here.
Yeah, it's that Patrick, you ate my chocolate and now I'm gonna starve. It's like there's 3 other stores. Shut up.
It's just.
Have you prepared for our wish segment?
Oh, I
Because
gotta
I'm
find it.
super prepared.
I gotta find it. Hold on.
I am so prepared. You're gonna love
I
mine.
gotta give me just a second. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to send these to our friends so they can see what we're talking about while we're talking about it.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's my alarm to go to bed. How great. Um,
It's 11:30 a.m. What's wrong with you?
I go to bed at noon and I wake up at 7:30. That's not absurd for somebody that works a third shift job.
Eggs get tossed at random times, just so everybody knows. This podcast is filmed whenever the fuck we can manage it. We can't give you more than
This podcast has been recorded 16 days after the first one was recorded.
Yeah, we're banging them out, man. We're working so hard.
Knocking them out. We're gonna have to like. There's gonna be like a thing where something comes up. It's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be gone for a week," and we're just gonna have to knock out like 4 or 5 recordings in a row just to have enough. But I am prepared. Would you like to go first or should I?
Well, I think I went first last time, so you can go first this time.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to the there first, and where's the channel? Allow me to introduce to you the
Oh, I just looked at this one.
it is not only a shirt with his face,
Yo,
it is pants with his face as well.
my issue, like the shirts, whatever. People wear weird shirts, right? But my biggest issue comes from the crotch mouth. Why? Why did we do crotch mouth? Like, oh, it's so bad. Also, I don't think anyone's buying water cooled cases for computers from Wish. I don't think there's one human on Earth.
There's again multiple things. Look at the. I don't like that his lip is on the shirt as well as on the sweater pocket.
Yeah,
So it's got
absolutely.
that faded look. Two, the. What are you holding in those? Why is the pocket bulged like that in such a weird fashion?
Yeah, it makes it look like he doesn't have a chin. It's just folds of flesh.
Well, no, it's like look at the indents of the person's hands. It's like they're holding a controller in the pocket of the sweatshirt.
Ugh.
That is the only way I can describe it, and I also hate the fact that for whatever reason, the sleeves are taken from Borderlands 3.
Right, yeah, they're cell shaded.
I
think my biggest issue is I just looked at that hoodie a little closer and realized if you did the Terry Crews like move your chest muscles thing, you would make his entire eyes shift up and down really
he would
fast.
do the rock elbow.
Yeah, like it'd be
or
so
elbow,
awkward.
the eyebrow elbow.
Eyebrow, literally. Elbow.
I was
How did we let that one pass?
I caught it. It's just
Ugh.
also what language is this? I don't know.
I have no idea. I legitimately.
I don't know why it's 15 to 90% off operating systems.
Yep.
But
it's still just American dollars,
yeah,
$30.
It's also new fashion 3D print famous.
Yep.
And water
that's just famous.
Shop now. The shop now button isn't even in the language.
Yeah. It's just the ad, which is very disconcerting.
I will say this though, Wish has absolutely made shopping fun. It is.
Oh yeah, I mean it's such a blast.
It is without.
You can get anything.
Without question. I'm also noticing that the end of the what would be your right leg while wearing them on the pants is an extremely tight ankle band.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't look like the left side has the same amount of wrinkles to ankle band. It's like your right leg just became Nicolas Cage foreskin. Like
I wouldn't have used foreskin. I would have said like a peg leg. But you know,
no.
I guess to each their own. The God, what a face! What a profile picture!
I just like somehow you've brought an even worse Photoshop job to this bit. Like this one is very blatantly just like a cell shaded, really shitty hoodie that they just slapped a picture onto. Like
this is just
also who the fuck is wearing that? The hoodie again, the hoodie I kind of understand. I guess people buy weird clothes as a thing, but the pants are not a product anyone needs.
I would absolutely wear this for shock value.
Of course you would.
I would want to be turned around and I would want to hear, "Hey, Jacob," and I turn to look at them, and they're suddenly eye to eye with 3 different people in one motion.
Just so bad. And it's like they didn't even really shape the face at all for the pants. Like the hoodie, at least the face fits very well
you
into.
you don't touch his face. You leave it as is.
No, you have to stretch it a little because you're cutting off his lip, bro. Like if think about the bulge, okay? If a bulge appears in those pants, it looks awful.
It's just his nose. Just his nose.
God damn it, we're back on noses. We're back on bulge noses.
We are back on it, yes. It is also worth noting that for whatever reason, he looks so fucking depressed on the pants, but he looks fine on the sweatshirt. He looks so distraught.
Like vaguely happy on the sweatshirt, but the pants is pain.
It's like he knows. It's a pair of pants that knows he's a pair of pants. You know what I mean?
It's self-aware pantalones. Yeah. I don't like it.
He's like, I just have this waistband on my forehead, dude. I can't get rid of it.
Just strings tickling the nose forever.
You know what it looks like? It looks like, okay, hear me out. It looks like you just took his face and like put it between your knuckles of like your first 2 fingers.
I hate that. I hate how accurate it is.
It just looks like it's like a pair of pants like for your fingers. Like do those little funny bits with.
Basically, the only way I could see this being a marketable product is if you just, took the time to iron it at least. Like we've got weird bulges at the bottom of the sweatshirt, weird wrinkles on the pants. I just don't like it. I don't like any part of it.
Like, you know what you do? You add a giant red circle right in the nose. Honka honka.
Honka.
Just a honka honka.
Can't stand you. Of course, I look at that one and I was like, I don't want that one. That one's too easy. And then you're just like, boom, pants.
All right, I got a phone in right now. I'm gonna toss this one. I got a phone in right now for this comment about the pants. It says he's depressed because he's got to be Nicholas Coochie.
Oh no! God damn it! Oh,
all right. That is
Nicholas Coochie. God damn it!
That is I think a good portion of that one. That's enough. Nicholas Coochie's gonna get on this episode.
Oh, for sure. But we're keeping the pants vibe. Okay, are you ready?
Oh, we're keeping the pants. We got a theme.
The pants vibe.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, hold on. Let me get in here real quick.
Send it over, man. Send it over.
Oh yeah, I gotta send it over. The what we got here, Connor?
I'm not real fucking sure, honestly. Like I looked at it and I kind of understood, and then I looked at it some more and lost it. I was somewhere.
I don't know actually, because I have not found anything next to the pills that say "wow" to the right.
Yeah, that's where I was at. Is like the pants themselves are a very questionable product, right? It says summer, but they look like cargo pants, which are fairly hot when you wear them. He's farting, which is even more confusing. And then there's just, I would assume my best bet on those quote unquote pills is that they are either candy or like those tablets that you drop in a bathtub to make them have bubble. Like that's the best I can get out of them. And then there's just what look to be either mushrooms or like little caps for electronics, like solder job.
Yeah, those look like, I was wondering what it was, but yeah, those look like they're soldering stuff.
It is the most wild split of 3 products I've ever fucking seen from
also,
Wish.
And I've looked at a lot dollars. We're not on US dollars on this one.
Nope. We're in the European, the euros, and I don't know how to feel about that. Like, is this a product specifically for an Englishman who needs cargo pants to fit all of his electronics and apparently also needs to take pills that say weird words?
It either says "wow" or "mom." One of those is weirder than the other.
I want to say the one at the top doesn't say wow. I guess it says wow. It's just got dots. Crunchy. Yeah, dots between. I don't understand. I don't get it. And I'm
technically not wow. It's WOW.
I'm superiorly bothered by the fact that apparently summer pants mean you get to shit in them. Like,
well, he's firing blanks. He's got. That's the warning shot you were looking for.
Yeah, that's the warning shot I dreamed of and didn't get.
That is. So for some reason, something wants to tell me that these are shorts. Like
Are
that
you telling me
go.
these are like mid-calf shorts? These are like
Yes.
Jinko jean shorts?
Yes, and the only reason I say that is because, unironically, my DoorDash delivery was wearing one of these, kind of like this. That is
He
the
was wearing
shorts,
the farting pants.
the shorts that went down to like the middle of his calf.
Did you eat that food, dude?
There's a fucking there's a McRonald.
McRonald.
There's nothing that man could have done to it that would have made it any worse.
That's true.
Also,
I'm just
I
so
have
bothered.
I just have to say, man, I am
Mhm.
so pleased that these people chose the one form of text that would make our logo look fantastic in comparison.
Oh yeah.
Just apps, the summer,
Mm-hmm.
just egg toss looks phenomenal right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the two
Summer.
next to each other. We
We're
are the
winning.
wish ads.
Oh my goodness. How many pockets do you
Who
think
the
these
fuck?
pants have?
Who the fuck is in the bottom right, Connor?
I don't know. That was the other thing I was going to bring up. Is there's a small woman on the bottom right.
She's poking in.
And this isn't a Facebook like a Facebook Messenger like bubble. This is just like a square with an arrow. And I don't understand what the fuck
The
is going
arrow
on
is a
with it,
drop down.
but it's scary. Like it's like this woman is judging you for looking at the fart pants and the wow pill. Like
But not the soldering stuff, because that's, yeah. Okay. You know what? Hold on, I gotta lean in here. They're
Move it
doing
all
that
the
thing
way.
where they're leaning in the weird way, so you can't see their mouth, so it looks like they have the fucking... Like, they just look like they have a pointy chin.
Pointy chin.
Alright, I'm probably just gonna block that out, because I don't want to show anybody's face, but... It's just like, why? Oh no, honey, what is you doing? What are you doing there?
By the way, I've now perused Wish ads so long that I have an entire folder on my computer that is just shitty Wish ads.
We could probably... I was talking to somebody about finding our niche. That could be our niche, is just judging wish ads.
Yeah, just absolutely roasting Wish ads.
I think we could get away with it, specifically because within 2 seconds of typing wish ads, I got another different advertisement for the cat mask
Oh yeah?
of a different cat wearing it.
We'll give a bonus this time. This one really confused me. It won't take us but 2 seconds to judge it. It's very simple. But I'm really bothered by the fact that you can get crack pipes for 85 cents on Wish. Like, why does this exist?
Fucking was $38.
Like, yeah, it's like, why did it go from $38 for crack pipes to 85 cents for crack pipes? What caused such a drop in the economy of crack pipe buying? What is this? Should I click on this?
It should just be the picture, but it's not. Yeah, you just click on it, pulls up the picture.
Oh yeah, at least this one's real though. I mean, that poor cat, but it's real.
Homie's tensed up for good reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, enough about that. Yeah, crack pipes for 84 cents. I mean, you know, it just...
Also, look at that title. Colored glass, oil burner, pipe glass, oil burner, glass tube, oil pipe, oil nail, glass oil pipe, KCT. Why?
417 ratings?
Like, also, yeah, are there 417 crackheads that are rating this thing 5 stars? And,
Also,
near 5 stars?
If this is picture 1, what do the other 3 look like? There's 1 of 4.
It's just people with the pipes in, smoking actively.
Buy with other shoppers. They're getting the whole... get the paddy wagon. Get the fucking... Hop in the clown car, everybody. We're going for a ride.
Also, shout out to that person for having a fully charged phone. Mostly
it's
fully
charging, I think, right?
I can pull it up and look. It is charging. Fuck, I lose.
Lose. Also, 11:30 p.m.
Do what?
It's 11:30 p.m. on the on their
Who's
phone.
looking at crack pipes at midnight? God damn it.
I mean, that is, in my opinion, the perfect time to be looking at 'em.
The witching hour is
Yeah.
perfect for buying crack pipes.
Yeah.
Good.
Every store is closed. We can't get the spoons. That one got you, Connor?
It was the way you said the spoons, like it was a proper noun.
The spoons?
Just get the spoon. Just pulls out the King Batch supersized spoon.
Hans gets a spoon. Yeah, that is okay.
Good old wish ads.
That
Good
is.
old wish ads.
Also, nah, I'm not gonna use that one. I can't use any of these.
No, you can't.
No, we're gonna save these. We're gonna save these. All right, we are
Ending the wish segment.
we're at an hour 10, almost at a minute 10. Woo! Imagine if we talk that fast. I've done that before. That is probably my biggest.
That's like world record level fast.
That
if
is-
you could get an hour and 10 worth of information
Yeah.
out in 1 minute.
That is like my biggest weakness. Is if I have to talk for a long period of time and I'm not like comfortable, I'm just like, okay, so this is the thing where you take it and you do this, and sometimes when this happens, you know, you kind of feel this way, but then it's whatever because things always end up happy at the end. And I'm like, you were supposed to talk about Harry Potter for 14 minutes. It's been 27 seconds.
And that's
And
what
then-
wow pills do to you.
And then I am like, I'm talking about the Hunger Games, and I've got 3 minutes left, and I've already finished the Hunger Game. I am spending the next 3 minutes talking about the letter S. And that is, you see how, you know, the
Look at those
writing,
curves, the
just-
sensual lines.
the way the sans font, it's just, it just hits different. You
That
know?
would make wish ads so much better if they were in Comic Sans.
By now.
Ugh.
I can't get over the word summer. That just makes my day that it looks that
Who the
much
fuck
better.
is a drop shadow, man? Who the fuck is a drop shadow?
Who needs any kind of outlining when you can just green?
Yup. You
Green,
can just green.
lime green,
Green
on
summer,
white.
baby.
Lime green on white.
Like they could have just used black. It's a white and gray background.
If you were to tell me that somebody dressed in fucking Nicolas Cage shirt and pants were carrying a crack pipe and farting actively, I would look at you and go, they got that at Wish. That is the most Wish customer.
This is like the Wish starter kit. These 3 items.
Nicolas Cage,
like-
the fit.
Yeah, just Nicolas Cage the fit. You have to be shitting yourself and smoking crack.
You have to be, dude. In multicolored bowls. That is the
Oh.
Wish experience trademark.
TM.
And here's the best part. They didn't even smoke crack before. They just got it. They got into it because it was $1 for a pipe. That is
Man, it
what
was so cheap. I just had to try it once.
it was. You know, the price of crack is just so unreasonable, but it makes up for it that the pipes are so cheap. It really
I'm
just
just
balances it out.
Imagining like the like you go to Costco and there's a free sample tray and it's just crack pipes and crack.
I'm imagining like a mid suburb mom just like tweaking out. Just you know, it just helps me get through soccer practice. Anyway,
Oh man,
man, that's
crackhead soccer mom, guys.
That,
Crackheads. We got to crackhead soccer mom. That's impressive.
wearing Nicholas Coochie. That is the end of this. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate
Thank
you all.
so much.
And have a wonderful evening with that knowledge.
Yep.
Bye
hold it dearly.
bye.